Albania was the last country in Europe to develop a railway network. Apart from a few narrow-gauge military and industrial lines in the 1920s and 30s, the first standard-gauge public lines opened in 1947. The network was gradually extended until it reached about 400 kilometres in 1987. The country became an extreme Stalinist dictatorship after World War II. The leader, Enver Hoxha, banned foreign travel, religion and private enterprise, amongst other things, alongside increased industrialisation and development, which included the railway network, as private car ownership was banned. After his death in 1985, there were some political reforms and increased contact with Western European nations. Albania finally freed itself from communist dictatorship in 1992, the last country in Europe to do so. After a long period of unrest and the collapse of the government, much of the country suffered from serious neglect and a lack of investment. With the arrival of private car ownership, the rail network fell into a serious decline. Currently, HSH, the state operator, runs 3 services a week from Elbasan to Durres on the Adriatic coast. The track is very poorly maintained and line speeds are under 60 km an hour. The rolling stock now consists of a fleet of these ex-Czech Railways CKD diesel locos and ex-Deutsche Bahn suburban carriages that have seen better days. There was a sizable fleet of steam locos from various countries, including China, but only this Polish 282 survives on the former station site in Tirana. The rest was scrapped in 2019. There is one private operator, Albrail, who won a 25-year concession to reconstruct and operate the lines from Fier to Vlor, where they currently run 17 oil trains a week from the refinery to the Petroliferia port terminal at Vlore. Albania has the 10th largest oil reserves in Europe. Most current public transport is by a somewhat erratic bus network. Numerous private operators run a varied fleet of buses and furgons, which are private minibuses that stop on demand. The bus stations, where they exist, are just parking areas with a booth for managers, such as this one, the North-South bus terminal in the capital, Tirana. Several towns just have a bus street where they line up along the roadside. Most bus operators own just 1 or 2 vehicles and have a license to operate on one particular route. I'm not sure how good the road surface is to this destination. Since gaining EU candidate status in 2014, Albania has had access to EU funding and loans, which has allowed railway reconstruction to commence. The current works underway are rebuilding the 34-kilometre line between the capital, Tirana, and the country's main port on the Adriatic, Durres, with a 7-kilometre link to the airport near Tirana, scheduled to open in 2024. The work involves renewing the trackbed base and numerous bridges and culverts, new signalling and several new stations, although the station building at Durres will be refurbished. In Tirana, the platform foundations are in place and there will be a new transport hub built on this derelict land between the station and the current north-south bus terminal. A 4-kilometre tram link into the city centre is also planned. The main railway works and depot at Shozit, near Durres, contain many disused locos and derelict buildings and a lot of redundant track. You can see the reconstruction of the trackbed taking place alongside. Trains will be diesel hauled for the moment, but the trackbed has been laid wide enough for overhead line equipment in the future. Further talks and funding is being put in place for international connections to Montenegro, Kosovo, North Macedonia and Greece as part of the 10T network of rail routes across the Western Balkans, for which the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has earmarked almost €2 billion to allow connections of all the different networks. You can read about the reconstruction work in much more detail in my feature article in the August issue of Today's Railways Europe. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more random railways.